3 days ago, Trump told all the politicians in DC that they were going to be given access to the unredacted Epstein files. The people in the House, the people in the Senate, given access to these files that supposedly are extremely dangerous and no one should be looking at. Very weird. And the last minute last night, the Capitol in DC, the DC Capitol Police announced they are going to do an exercise with emergency vehicles and helicopters. Why are there emergency vehicles and helicopters? Things are used to transport high value targets, and helicopters used to chase people down on the exact same day that the criminals are gonna see all their crimes, it sounds like. I'm gonna cover all this today on Peter's Political Perspective. This is a very exciting episode because not a lot of this stuff is adding up unless you kind of combine it together. First of all, let's look at the whole unredacted Epstein thing that is being offered by Trump. This is what they're saying. They're saying in order to show we truly are being transparent and we're not hiding anything, we're gonna show you a lot of unredacted Epstein files. But here's the part that's confusing to me. Under the Epstein Act, they've already delivered all the unredacted Epstein files they can deliver. Anything else that's been redacted is redacted for specific reasons. 3 reasons. One, it's illegal content. I don't think they're gonna be showing a bunch of illegal content to politicians today. I guess it's heavily censored, but that would expose crimes, right? But it's possible. I don't think they're going to be showing personal data, which is another stuff that was redacted, like home addresses or social security numbers or victim stuff. I don't think they're going to be showing that stuff. And then the third thing that they redacted was anything that would impact a federal ongoing investigation, an active investigation into the crimes of these people. So what exactly are they going to show these people? It sounds like they're not going to show a bunch of personal data, the victim stuff, especially because you're allowed to take notes. You can't take your phone in there and take pictures of the evidence, but you're allowed to take notes. I don't think they're going to show a lot of personal data of the victims. So that only leaves 2 things: redacted and censored photos and videos of people committing crimes, and also evidence that would impact federal investigations. What are they going to see today, people? I imagine people in DC are panicking right now. Imagine Bernie Sanders today. He's like, okay, so you're telling me, Trump, that you're going to show everyone my crimes today, unredacted, to all my politicians, all my friends, all my colleagues, and there's also going to be emergency vehicles in case I want to run away or helicopters to chase me down. Now, let's be clear. Do I think there's going to be an arrest scenario today where hundreds of politicians are going to be arrested? Very unlikely. It's possible, but 1 in 1,000. More likely, there's one of 2 theories that I have of what's happening. One is they want these criminals to be warmed up to the idea of all being in one space with military or Capitol Police surrounding them with helicopters, emergency vehicles. We've seen this in the past with the Biden inauguration. It was heavily fortified, and this caused a lot of politicians to be like, oh gosh, are they going to arrest us? That didn't happen. Again, there's other times where DC was heavily fortified and there were a lot of politicians in DC, but nothing happened. I think that's going to happen today. Politicians that come to DC, it's going to be heavily fortified, and the politicians are going to be worried like, oh, we're going to be arrested, but nothing's going to happen. So he's making them feel comfortable. And I think that's going to be used in the future so that he's going to set another bait, like, hey, everyone come to DC, I got something to show you, something important, you got to be here. He's going to surround them by military, Capitol Police the next time, but that time, it won't really be an exercise like they're claiming it is this time. Like, oh, it's just going to be an exercise. It's just an exercise. Don't panic if you see helicopters flying, emergency vehicles. And I don't think anything's going to go on. But it's warming them up to the idea of, hey, you can be surrounded. We can turn DC into a prison thing, but we won't arrest you. Don't worry. Relax. So that in the future, they fall for the bigger trap if there is a mass arrest scenario. Because if there's a mass arrest scenario, it's going to be very hard to capture a bunch of people at once unless you have them all concentrated in one place, in a small place like DC, surrounded by military and Capitol Police. Then you could do a mass arrest scenario. So is this the reason that Trump's doing it? To warm them up to idea, to make them feel comfortable in the situations where there's bait and they're surrounded? Or is there something else going on? Maybe this is a beta test. Maybe he's wondering what happens if I show the criminals all their crimes. Will they run away? Will they panic? And what would they do knowing that there's Capitol Police surrounding them with helicopters, emergency vehicles? This is a test almost possibly to see how they're going to react. Are they going to run away? Are they going to panic? Do we need to chase them down? Are they going to be calm? Or maybe it's a contingency. Maybe he thinks that all these files being released could blow up into something big and they would need the Capitol Police. But I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. Why is it in DC on the same day and the same place, two major things are happening, and one of them was announced 3 days ago and one was announced at the last minute? They seem to be connected. But let's hear what Grock has to say about this.
Okay, digging into this Epstein files and DC exercise thing right now. Yeah, I get why this feels off. Timing's suspicious as hell, and the whole thing smells like something bigger. But from what's out there today, February 9th, 2026, it's not quite the bombshell trap you're thinking. Congress members can start viewing unredacted versions of the Epstein files that the DOJ already released publicly. About 3 million pages, not the full 6+ million they hold. It's happening in a secure reading room at the Justice Department building, on computers only, no phones or devices allowed, notes okay. They need 24 hours notice, and it's just for members themselves at first, not staff. No mass viewing in DC proper, no showing politicians anything explosive at one spot. The files are the same ones out there already, just without the redactions that protected victims or followed court orders. Nothing new that's illegal content or active investigation stuff getting dropped on them. The point seems to be oversight. Lawmakers checking if DOJ redacted too much for shady reasons like protecting big names, not exposing crimes today. On the Capitol Police thing, yep, they announced last night for an early morning routine training exercise today, around 6 a.m., with federal partners, low-flying helicopters, emergency vehicles. They literally said, don't be alarmed in the post. These drills happen semi-regularly. Similar ones in 2022, 2024, etc. No reports tying it directly to the files or any arrests. Could be coincidence or maybe heightened security because of the Epstein buzz, but nothing points to a setup or bait.
Well, listen, Grock, you said there's no reports. I'm reporting that there's a connection because that's exactly the point. That's the whole reason I'm doing the show, is because there's connections that need to be made that are not being made in the media. They're not covering this. So slam and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because I'm covering stories that no one's covering, making connections that no one's connecting, because I'm trying to see everything from the highest level perspective. And again, Grock is saying that there's nothing explosive going to come out here, but Grock does admit this is highly suspicious. What is going on here? Now, if you were to guess, Grock, why do you think these things would happen the exact same day? Same day, same place. I mean, and it would technically impact the same people. It seems highly suspicious because emergency vehicles are usually used to transport high-value targets, and helicopters are used to like chase people down. So it almost seems like this is prepping them for a future event where he would gather them around again. He'd be like, oh, we're just doing a Capitol Police exercise, and then maybe he could spring a trap in the future. I'm not saying this is 100% chance what's going to happen, but I'm telling you, these are chess moves being played strategically, not a coincidence. And I guarantee you, these were planned in advance for a very specific purpose. Do I know for sure what that purpose is? No. But if you were to speculate and guess, what is the connection between these two events, if there is a connection? Because I don't believe in coincidences, and I see Trump making genius chess moves all the time, and these chess moves definitely are connected. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you agree, disagree? Grock, your final thoughts on this before I shut you off.
All right, digging into this theory right now. Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Timing like this screams not random to a lot of folks, especially when Trump's track record has people seeing patterns everywhere. From everything rolling in today, the exercise was announced late last night for 6 a.m. sharp. Routine stuff with federal partners, low helicopters, vehicles, exact same wording they've used for drills going back years, like 2021, 2022, 2024. No reports of anything unusual happening during it. No tie-ins to arrests or anything dramatic. The Epstein thing, it's Congress members, individually, not in a big group, heading to the DOJ building, not the Capitol, to peek at unredacted versions of the 3 million pages already public. 24 hours notice needed. No devices, just notes. Started today, but it's spread out, not a mass gathering. Ghislaine Maxwell's deposition is virtual, separate. On X, yeah. Some Q-adjacent accounts are calling it a clock or not coincidence with the files and testimony, but mainstream coverage treats them as unrelated. No credible outlet linking them. No leaks of panic. No emergency response beyond the drill. If I had to speculate why the overlap, best guess, pure chance. Maybe extra security awareness because the Epstein buzz could draw protesters or weirdos to the Hill. Drills get scheduled months ahead.
All right,
Announcements
Grock.
last minute.
I heard enough.
I'll tell you for a fact right now, it wasn't pure chance. It was not a coincidence, and the moves that Trump does are not just random like that. So, and again, that's what I'm here for. Grock's like, well, officially, the official stories are unconnected, but some people are connecting them. Yeah, that's me. I'm the person connecting them. Again, to be fair, I didn't come up with this connection all by myself. But I pieced together little pieces of evidence, and I was able to make this connection more thorough and do a lot of deep research into it. But let me cover the comment section today because I've been getting so many great comments I did want to cover. DE Brewmall 5601 said, I knew you would have a different perspective, and I agree, President Trump is a master troller. This was in reference to the previous video I made about the Obama 8 video. Mark List 1542 says, your analysis are great. I appreciate these comments a lot. I did get a comment yesterday saying from Brady Space saying, try lapel mic cheap or pencil mic stand. You don't have to have a chintzy audio. I apologize if the audio is not as good as it could be. I've tried different microphones, and apparently you need to spend like $200 on a microphone to get good quality these days, because the cheaper ones, as you probably noticed, are not that good quality. And the smartphone one that I have apparently is really good and hard to beat with something under $120. So working on audio, working on stuff. We're going to expand and make this whole show better, but I appreciate it. We'd also see some negative comments here. He said, no Republicans will vote for Trump. You'll see. We'll work hard to stop him. This seems like to be a Democrat. Wait till the Democrats find out that there was a lot of cheating in the election and they're actually the minority, not the majority, like they've been told. One comment was on that video yesterday. Clark Kent Craddock says, that wasn't racist. Pay attention. Actually, in the video, I guess I could have been more clear, but I did say that Trump is not racist, but the actual photo was racist. So to be clear, Trump can do something like that, but not be racist. And so, you know, it's complicated. But yeah, I agree with you that Trump wasn't being racist, but I disagree that I do think that the picture was a racist picture in general. Someone posted, Chase Glackman 575 said, Trump posted on Truth Social today in all caps, the dollar collapse is happening right now. I just want to be clear and give you all a heads up. There is a massive amount of people out there spreading lies on purpose because you can be very, very rich on social media, on YouTube if you spread lies. They're like, Trump saying the dollar is collapsing, fake tweets. Or I saw videos saying Barron Trump changed his last name because he hates his father. And there's like a whole 30-minute video on it. And it's completely false. Nowadays, if you hear crazy claims, it's very, 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 very important to get fact-checking with Gemini or Grock. I prefer Grock for fact-checking. Gemini is also very good, but Grock's ideal. It's important to fact-check all these things because we're in an information warfare. And there's people who are trying to confuse you to make you less smart. And there's also people trying to just make money. So they'll put out a bunch of false information that's inflammatory, but it makes a ton of money. So subscribe if you really want condensed, good, well-researched stuff that's accurate and from someone who's being as honest and who's telling you as accurate it is without making up a bunch of random stuff to get a bunch of clicks, you know. These are real thorough analysis. So if you appreciate that, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate all the support I'm getting right now, and it makes a big difference. And if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comment section. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this exciting episode today. I'm very curious to see how this unfolds today. Again, don't think it'll be a massive event, but I do think it is a strategic move planned to impact later events. Hopefully. We'll see, but I don't believe in coincidence like Grock. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Peace out.